Blaming, fine. All right, we'll start with that, blaming. So you know about blaming. Lynn, which ones do you know most about? Karen, sorry.
Blaming.
Blaming, oh wonderful. Which one do you know most about, Rosemary?
Placating.
Oh, good. Now, will you take the blaming stance, you take the blaming stance, and you the placating stance, down with each other. Good. Okay. Now, that's a picture of their triad at some point. Now, when that happens, let's look at something. Rosemary is a natural scapegoat in this. When this happens. Those two can blame her. That's one possibility. However, it can also go like this, in which case she can try to make peace. Now, these are things that you know a lot about. Now, what's another one that you use but you don't use that much?
What was the name of the term? Not irrelevant.
Super reasonable?
Yeah.
All right. Super reasonable. All right. Set yourself super reasonable. Okay. Feet together. Your chest is out. Your hands at your side. And you're naturally looking up there. What's another one you know something about? Maybe not as much as the other. All right. Very good. Super reasonable. Okay. Now, what do you know something about other than this?
Irrelevant.
Oh, fine. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Put your feet together. Weight together. Start moving around, all right? So I could come in to this group at this point in time, and I would see this going on. These two would be trying to be objective, and she would be in a position of trying to distract them, okay? Now, hold it a minute now. Which of these others do you know another something about? You know about blaming, it comes more easily. You know something about super reasonableness. What's another one you know something about? Placating. All right. So, now what's another one you know something about?
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. What's another one you know something about?
Blaming.
Blaming. All right. Now take those positions with each other. Yes, you're the placator. One toe, one knee, and one toe. You're too solid. One knee, one toe, and one toe. That's very good. Oh, you're much too solid. You can't look that solid. That's very good, okay? All right, now then, I want to show you their potential triad dance. Okay? Now, will you now all stand up now? Remember what your postures were? Stand up now. Remember where you started? Blaming, blaming, placating. Let's go up here a little bit. Remember the first round?
Yes.
All right, and then you remember the next one that you got super reasonable, and you got super reasonable, and you got irrelevant. All right, that was the second round, okay? Now the third round was you got placating, you got irrelevant, and you got blaming, and you got irrelevant. All right, now what I'd like you to do, first of all, for all of you to recognize, we all have three rhythms to our stress ballet. That's what this is called, our communication stress ballet. And as we move together, we move in concert. It's very interesting. So I want you to see their stress ballet. That is the potentials for their triad. There's another one I'm going to show you later, but these three now. So take the positions first, and then I'm going to ask you to take the second and the third, and you just move from one to the other. All right, start off where you were before. All right.
Forget what I want.
All right. No. Change. Change. All right, now, unless anything if something doesn't interfere, the next change will put you back where you started. So go back where you started. No. No. All right. All right, okay. And then you'll keep on going. And if nothing changes, you'll just keep on going. All right. Now, let yourself bring the positions where you are now. Take the positions hard. Now, when you feel that, can you feel inside of yourself anything in your inside? What are you feeling in your body right now?
Some tension in my shoulders.
All right, tension in shoulders and arms. What are you feeling?
I'm tight all over, even my eyes.
All right, and what are you feeling?
I have a headache here.
You have a headache. All right. Now what you do those are signs to you. Now what you do is, that's a sign to say, okay, close your eyes, give yourself a message of appreciation, take a breath and let your body expand to fill your breath and get on your own feet. And then look at each other and see what happens. Okay. You will have plenty of opportunity to express these things, because we are almost all made of it. But now, let me come back. At this moment in time, you are standing on your own feet, and you can move forward, and you can move around, you can do all of those things. Now let's look at something else. There are always new pieces. We are built in such a way so that we can only be in contact, visible contact, with one person at a moment in time. Because even if we have strabismus, we can't go that way. So now we have the two people, let's say you two are in contact. Right here, you're standing on your own feet. Now, remember we were talking about the adversary system and how easy it is to get a feeling of rejection? It's possible to look at those two, and you're in a triad, you look at those two, and they look like they're so engrossed with one another. Where is the room for me? Okay? All right. Now, it's like, Shelley, where are you? Yeah, you were talking about that before. Remember that those little things activate that. Now, what I would suggest for you is if you begin to feel that way, you say, I'm feeling this way at this moment in time. I just want to let you know. That's one piece. You don't wait for them to turn always and say, well, now, Rosemary, won't you join us? Okay? Because you could wait for a long time. Or you can say, hey, I'm here. I'd like to join you. I'd like to join you. In which case, they will be able, one of those will say, that's fine. Or at this moment, I want to finish something. What we're doing is substituting articulation for acting out. Okay? All right. Now it's equally possible that you and Jeff are doing something. You're talking to each other. In fact, if two aren't really in total contact with one another, as you go around, you're probably not hearing one another. Now you will need this third person to go from the potential rejector and rejecting feeling to one who is a facilitator. Now, what does that mean? You facilitate easily for yourself what you're hearing over here. Okay? And then you can make yourself available to adding what's happening, what's over here. So then we have another dance. And this is the dance of inclusion. And the dance of inclusion includes exclusion. Because while you're being excluded, you are included. But you're included in another way, because the environment says that. It's like when you were a kid at home, and your parents were doing something, and some of your parents would be able to say, this is just for us at this moment. We love you, but this is not something about you at this moment, so you're not part of this at this time. Not too many of us got that maybe, but some of us got it. And we then were able to allow something to happen out here because we didn't use it as a definer of us negative. Okay?
Just sort of you want to go like this.
That's right, exactly. And so what you can do is you can say, hey, I need to get in. Now, famous words for that are, can I interrupt a minute? I want to make a comment. Then you listen for the other ones to say, well, that'll fit right now. That is not a control issue. That's like going and buying shoes that fit you. Is this time now? Now, if it turns out that these two seem to not be able to handle this in some way, this is time for taking a look at what's going on in your triad and doing sculpture and all the rest of that. You see, each one of your triads will be so wonderful in terms of, first of all, the two dances that we have. I'm going to show you the second one. You two dance together, and now you dance around, because their being together does not affect you. You can dance around them, or you can dance for yourself. That's right. Now in the dancing, will you repartner? Repartner, and another person is dancing separately. And you keep on dancing. And then comes another dancing. Comes another dancing. All right? And you dance with that. And now all three of you come together and dance. All three of you come together and dance. And this is another kind of dance. And at a certain point, each one of you dances separately, breaking out of that and dancing separately, so that you all have your unique self. And then, of course, you can do the pairing, you can do the separateness, you can do the triading, and this is the dance of real connectedness. So that when you are doing that, that means that whatever is going on here enriches you, and you become more of what you are. What goes on enriches you, and you become more of what you can be. And the same thing is true with you. Now let's go back to the ideal primary triad. You two are the parents, and you know all these things. You know that there is going to be the time when you and your lovely daughter are going to be together, and mother is going to be happy. In fact, she has stars in her eyes, watching her husband and her child. And then there are times when you dance together with your mother, and you dance separately. And there's no question that you are left out. That is not the question. The dance is going on, and you have stars in your eyes for that. Then you get with your wife, and you watch that, and it'll take you a little longer to have stars in your eyes. Well, that's going on. But each of us has to choose these different kinds of things. And they are not in spite of people, but because of the fact that we also need to couple as well as be single, as well as to be triad. So the degree to which we can have this, we accrue something to ourselves in a wonderful, rich way. And I would hope that all of you would come out of your triads at the end of this next 7 or so days, feeling enriched, feeling more in contact, knowing more about how you respond, and being able to move from any position where you are to a position of congruence, which is, my body's giving me a message. That's a message for me to now give myself permission to appreciate myself, to breathe, to be on my own feet, to recognize my value, and now I can turn back. And in that way, I never put anything on anybody that they have to do my work for me. So it will be wonderful to see what happens. Now, lovely one, tell me what this was like for you.
As a placater, it reminds me of what I was. I think I'm not so much that way anymore.
Okay.
I always forget, the blamer. I let go of a lot of that.
Okay.
Irrelevant. My goodness, yes. I think that recently I just got in touch with that and been able to discover that I keep very busy when things are
Oh, that's a nice thing to know.
coming to the surface.
That's a nice thing to know.
I think I have a tendency, though, still, if, like these two are busy, that I still kind of have a feeling of being left out.
All right. No.
Rather than being able to accept that.
Well, now in this triad, in this laboratory, that you can say, no, that happens for me. And if at some point you notice that, it would be helpful to me if you would share that with me. So we can become support for each other. Not controls, but support. Because these things were made a long time ago. And it's not a simple thing. We need lots of support. Okay? All right, let's see about you, love.
Well, one of the things that I noticed is it's really hard for me to maintain eye contact for a long time with one person. And that's hard for me, so I'll be learning about that. And, I felt sort of silly, a little bit silly dancing and stuff, but I got a little bit excited about it too, so I think probably I could do that more.
When did you get your full height? Did you have it today?
Oh, when I was 12.
I got mine when I was 11. You never got over it?
No.
Oh, okay. It's time.
Dancing class was horrible.
I thought so. I could feel that, That was the
Yeah.
same for me for a long time, until I figured out I was short compared to most tall girls. So where are you now?
Didn't like being in it, except for the dance. I felt like it was flowing, and we all were much more in touch with each other. I felt much better.
My experience has been that when people don't know about the flowing relationship, that they will pick, the one they will pick the most will be the blaming. Because that's the most comfortable, quote unquote. It makes you feel most alive. Superreadable makes you feel dead. Placating makes you feel vomiting. And the blaming at least makes you think that you got a little power. It's weak, of course, but you got it.